Hi guys, in today's video, I'll be talking about chapter 191 of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse, and let me just say, this chapter had some really interesting moments that I want to break down in detail. Right off the bat, I can tell you that I found it to be a very strong chapter, especially in terms of character development. But more on that in a moment. Let's get started. So the chapter kicks off with Balin provoking Gawain, and meanwhile, Gawain, even though she's in the middle of a fight, she's drowning in a sea of introspective thoughts. She begins questioning who she really is, where she came from, and even wonders aloud about her origin. About Balin's provocation, she just says Balin can't possibly know anything about her. She says that the old version of herself would be rolling on the floor if she heard that, which clearly shows growth in her character. She's not that impulsive, slightly spoiled kid from the early chapters anymore. Nakaba makes that very clear here. And then her introspection deepens. She starts asking herself why she only feels attracted to women, why she's unable to feel romantic love for others. She experiences a moment of vulnerability, confronting these questions without a clear answer, but still engaging with them. But this internal struggle ends up interfering with her fight, and she gets hit by Balin again. She's so caught up in self-doubt that she even wonders, what can someone as defective as me do for her companions? Do they even see me as a companion? These are very humanizing thoughts, doubts we all face in some way. And that's one of the things I love about this chapter. Sometimes, when characters are portrayed as invincible or overly confident, it creates a distance between them and us. But here, Gawain feels real, she's vulnerable, scared, confused. And for me, that makes her far more relatable and likable. This chapter alone made me appreciate her character on a whole new level. Eventually, she snaps back to reality and reminds herself that her priority should be to defeat the opponent in front of her, but nothing she tries seems to work. Her attacks are ineffective, and her confidence is at an all-time low. She's barely fighting back. Kine, observing from outside the ring, even asks what she's doing, why she's just letting herself get hit. Then we get a curious scene. Gawain smiles. Despite everything, there's a grin on her face. Why? Because she's realized something. There's more to this battle than brute force. She activates a spell called Sandman. This name, which is a reference drawn from Germanic and Scandinavian folklore. Traditionally, the Sandman is a mythical figure who sprinkles magical sand into the eyes of people at night to help them fall asleep and bring dreams. It's a symbol of rest and illusion, and Gawain cleverly taps into this legend by casting a sleep spell that momentarily knocks Balin out. It's a brilliant move, not a direct attack, but a way to exploit an opening. Unfortunately, just as the narrator and spectators react, the noise wakes Balin back up. He even comments that it was a great nap, and then immediately goes on the offensive again, landing a heavy hit on Gawain's stomach. At this point, Beltripe, who had sensed something special from Gawain earlier, starts doubting himself. Gawain's desperation starts to build. She punches Balin, but once again, it does nothing. Panic creeps in, and she takes a few steps back, yelling, "Get back! Get away from me!" It's a very raw moment, and Hauser, an experienced knight, notices it. Again, I have to give credit to Nakaba Suzuki here. It's impressive how much care he's putting into making Gawain's journey feel authentic. She's not immune to fear, and her breakdown in this fight only makes her more believable. For me, it's moments like this that elevate a story, when a character doesn't just look cool but feels real. Despite the fear, Gawain doesn't give up. She keeps trying to hurt Balin, throwing explosive magic at him, all in vain. And just when it looks like she's about to collapse, we get a flashback, a memory she had when she first found out she'd be fighting Balin. In this memory, she reflects on the idea that there's someone whose magic can't be touched, someone immune to traditional attacks. But instead of discouraging her, her grandparents, who clearly believe in her deeply, offer reassurance. "You can do it. We believe in you. After all, "You're the strongest out there, Gawain," and that's the turning point. That memory gives her the motivation and belief she lacked. As she's about to fall, she recovers midair, and the look on Balin's face says it all. He's shocked. Gawain launches a spell called Rise Impact. This time, Balin actually bothers to defend himself. That moment matters. Even though he lands a kick right after, Hauser catches it. For the first time, Balin saw something as a real threat. Balin then pulls out his sword and says that while the battle's been fun, it's time to end it. Gawain doesn't back down. She says, "Heed my will," and in a truly epic scene, her sacred treasure, which had fallen into the abyss earlier in the battle, returns to her. She grabs it and taunts, "What are you in such a rush for?" Then Balin uses what seems to be his most powerful offensive move so far, the Bone Slicer Blade, the same technique he used to defeat Hauser. Hauser, watching from the sidelines, instantly recognizes it and shouts for Gawain to dodge, but she doesn't. She knows she has to surprise Balin to get a clean hit. So instead of evading, she blocks it with her arm. Yes, she takes the hit head-on, and Balin gets stuck. He can't even pull the sword out of her. Gawain tells him, "If this doesn't work, I'll admit defeat to you," and she unleashes a move called the Afterglow Blade, slashing at his stomach. At first, it looks like it failed, but then the narrator reveals something huge. Balin's body has been severely burned. That's right, for the first time, Balin has taken actual damage. And with that, Gawain ends the chapter saying, "Now I know how your invincibility works. And now it's time for my counterattack." So yeah, as I said in the beginning, I really enjoyed this chapter. It made me appreciate Gawain so much more than I ever had before. Before the fight started, I was convinced Balin would come out on top, but now, I'm not so sure anymore. I still lean toward Balin winning, but there's definitely more doubt in my mind than before. What do you guys think? Do you believe Gawain has a real shot at turning this around? Or will Balin's invincibility hold strong? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your theories. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like and don't forget to subscribe for more chapter breakdowns like this one. So, that was it for today.